Okay. Mm,
We took a long rest, right?
yep.
All right, we ended the last session with me preparing to make my what really good medical first aid center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was filling up
Mm-hmm.
paperwork and looking at how much it would cost me to get get up to code.
Yeah. With the license and inspection and all that.
Yep.
Mhm. Oh, would anyone like to recap all what happened last time?
I know I know Mark and Roth were doing something for a church. Ended up feeding the homeless for the church.
Yep.
We also finally cleared out that mercenary house we were told to do several days ago, and I figured out that the abominations are weak to water, or at least the water in the canals, and came upon the idea of arming ourselves with mops and buckets.
Right. You got quite a few items from that house.
Yeah, we all got the same item actually. The uh,
Shift weave.
Mm-hmm.
yep, and we also made a small fortune selling mirrors that I took from
Mm-hmm.
the place. Actually, that actually gives me an idea. Anything else we're forgetting about?
No, that sounds about it.
All right. Let's see. I'm not sure if you guys actually made it back to your home base last session.
I don't think we did. We ended the session while we were
Split up a bit.
yeah we yeah I'm currently headed to Oakmont Library to research stuff. We
Mm-hmm.
could do the long rest early into this session though.
Sounds good. All right. So it's very far into the evening at this point, as uh, basically the church is finished up their rounds through the city, dispersing food and whatnot. Start with Roth, as it seems that Mark is wanting to check something out, and you guys sort of split up a bit. So, Roth, what would you like to do?
Rothwell would just make his way to the Oakmont Library because he wanted to see if there's any records he could look into.
All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am also at the Oakmont Library, and I'm looking at the standards and medical practices, and also just brushing up on any medical knowledge I might need to get up to date on, specifically medical technologies.
All right. Finally have a nice external shot of our lovely library. All right. So here in this library, you both would likely run into one another. Since John was a little closer, he would probably be the first one to have arrived.
All right, you'll probably just find me sitting in one of the little study rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Ah, Roth. Where's Mark?
He wanted to do some of his own investigation, so I just left him to it.
Very well then. Anyway, did you know you're supposed to wash surgical implementations?
I did not. I am not really familiar with any sort of medical technology.
Fascinating. Anything interesting happening to you with the church?
Not really. Just
Oh,
trying to get a feel of everybody there.
very good, very good. Okay, do I find anything? What do I find that I'm gonna have to do for the first aid clinic we're making?
Mm-hmm. So you find that the ordinance seems to say that for every 3 medical beds, you'll need at least 1 nurse who can, at all times, work with those patients. That's one requirement.
We're a first aid center. We wouldn't really be keeping anyone overnight.
But if you wanted to ever keep someone overnight, you'd need to know that rule.
Okay, I remember that rule. Basically, what we're doing is like, if someone gets stabbed, they can come here instead of going all the way to the Oakmont hospital.
Let's see here. As for treatment, they find that people's own studies have shown, at least from studies done in this city, that those who are treated first physically before magically being treated tend to live longer and happier lives.
Naturally.
Therefore, any treatment must be done physically first, unless it is life-threateningly, so that magic needs to be used.
All right, easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to buy anything?
Give me a moment. So as for buying stuff, in order to be a properly licensed medical facility, you should be able to treat any common illness, which means you'll need the medical tools like sutures and other such things.
Okay, I would have packed that stuff with me. All right. Is there any rules regarding the cleanliness of the area?
Yes. So, it seems
all right,
that
I'll have to write a sternly worded letter to the whoever is in charge of coming up with these codes.
It seems that very commonly they use this some sort of material, ceramic, something like that. Apparently it's easy to clean and
Ceramic?
yeah.
Yeah, I would know about ceramics.
So it seems you'll need something like that for whatever rooms you plan on doing medical stuff in.
Okay, so I would need to. So I'll need to buy a bunch of ceramic tiles and redo the floors.
Seems like it.
Very well. Shouldn't cost too much. Just got to build up some funds first. But that can wait till tomorrow. I check out the books and Roth. Do you need to look at anything while we're still here?
Yes, that is why I came.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just ask around to see if there's any type of books on the history of Oakmont or anything like that that you can take out.
Mm-hmm. Upon
I'm also good.
asking, oh, go ahead.
I was also gonna subtly try to figure out exactly how much they knew about the break-ins the other night, without revealing that I'm looking into that.
Okay. So Roth, as you sort of ask around, you find that most of the history information is kept over at the Oakmont uh, Museum, kind of in the little north of the uh, Oakmont University. But
Okay.
there really aren't too many books here in this library.
I see. What about things about, fables or legends or that kind of stuff? Any of that here?
Hmm. Sort of the old librarian. She thinks for a moment. Well, we should have a couple of stories. They're mostly collections of seamen's tales. And she sort of takes you to it's not really books, but uh, more like rolled up stories, uh, kind of all lined up in a nice shelf.
Would I be able to take these out?
Mm, well, we typically don't want to be losing these. You're free to read them here, but you can't be checking them out today, I'm afraid.
I understand. They must be quite frail.
Mm-hmm. Quite old, some of them at least.
Would it be alright if I copied them down?
Oh, certainly. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Fine. Then Roth will just sit down and begin reading the seaman tales,
Mm-hmm.
and then also just copy them down into his notebook.
Sounds good. So you just pull one randomly off the shelf.
Yeah, whichever one feels the best.
All right, go ahead and roll luck real quick. 48, right in the middle. All right, you feel like the middle's got a pretty good vibe, and just sort of take one off the shelf. Uh, reading through it, this seems to be a tale of well, spooky tale of some of the first divers that went down into the ocean, and uh, they found it was a pair of divers, and they found a third dive suit down there that sprang up and started walking at them. Seems they were able to escape. So it's, told with a bit more storyteller's prowess.
Okay. Roth will just keep going through and then noting down if there's any of them he finds interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. John, as you sort of are making your way around the library, you would hear as you kind of get closer to the off limits section a faint voice talking about candles coming from beyond the door. Let's see. Ross, go ahead and roll another D100 for another Seaman story. 67. You pull one off the shelf and in reading it. This is a story of maybe not a fisherman, but of some person in the city who uh, began poking around in their basement and found a hole in the wall. And he, over the coming days, he decided to go down and explore and never really found the bottom of the tunnel. It just kept splintering and going off in different paths. And eventually, when he got lost one day and finally
I
made
mean
his
to.
way back out, he decided to close it up, or resolving never to get lost in such a place again.
Interesting.
What were you saying, John?
I didn't mean to roll that.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna read any more stories.
I think that's pretty much all. Those are some pretty good things to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll also just look up. Is there any books about wildlife?
Hmm. I don't know. The librarian tells you that it's pretty sparse in the way of animals on this island, aside from a few birds and uh, the mice that have arrived via ship and cats and stuff. Uh, not really much native wildlife, but they do have books on wildlife that they've gotten, you know, from uh, trade ships and such.
Hmm. Oh, I see. I only asked because maybe I was thinking about going into the forest up north.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, if you're wanting to enjoy nature, I do recommend the parks around. They're much safer than up in the northern forest.
Yeah, I've heard it's quite dangerous.
Hmm.
I've heard it's quite dangerous, but
My friend nearly
I'm
fell
looking
down
for
one of the
something.
holes up there, and oh, that could have
Oh,
been a big problem.
I see. Well, it was nice meeting you, but it seems I should be on my way home. It is quite late.
Well, have a wonderful time. The library's open quite late, so if you ever wish to come on and read some books, you're always welcome.
I will. As Roth will just leave.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right.
I take it we're just heading back to the bungalow for a bit.
Yeah, a little home base visit. Give me just a moment. All right. Hmm. So it's fairly late at night, and I assume you just head on back home.
Yep. Roll
Mhm.
luck.
Go ahead.
1.
Alrighty then. That's not good.
What becomes of me?
Uh, so, as you uh, sort of get back on the land from one of the city-provided boats, you land and looking down the street toward your home, uh, you see that the front door is currently open.
Maybe Mark came back here. I say as I as I ready my cane.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Is Roth with me right now?
Yeah, he is.
Do you have any method of scouting ahead?
No.
Well, get ready for a fight. As we approach the house, I'm gonna check the tripwire to see if it was triggered.
It was indeed. However, there is no blood, and the tripwire is not there. See here, let me move you.
I curse in Dwarvish when I notice that.
Okay. As you sort of look inside, you can't exactly look through the windows that have been very well boarded up. You sort of look inside and see that this door is open to the left here. You can see sort of scratch marks along the floor as something must have been dragged through.
I'm gonna listen and see if I can hear anything.
Mm-hmm. On take a moment to listen in. It sounds like there's something in your basement, bumping around.
All right. I'm gonna ready a firebomb.
Okay.
All right, and make my way down to the basement.
All right.
I gotta move this. I'm at the top of the stairs, looking into the basement.
Mm-hmm. All right. Upon looking down into the basement, what catches your eye is uh, a large large diving suit that seems to be currently patching a hole in the wall.
Nope. I'm gonna quietly go back and get Roth.
Mm-hmm.
Roth, we have a man in a diving suit in our basement. Can you come help me take care of it?
Okay, I mean, as Roth walks in, he'll cast Detect Magic.
All right. Give me just a moment to put something down to represent the giant suit, diving suit man. Yeah. Enough. All right.
Close enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're casting Detect Magic.
Yes.
All right. On casting Detect Magic, you immediately sense uh, quite a few different types of magic. Let me pull up the list here. The first thing you sense is a large amount of invocation magic, uh, followed close by abjuration, as well as conjuration and enchantment, all coming from that suit below you.
Roth will just look at and just say, there does seem to be a large amounts of different magic coming from this thing.
I swear in Dwarvish, under my breath.
I can go first if you'd like. It may not be, perhaps it's not something terrible.
Just make sure you approach it from its left side.
Okay. Roth will just go down the stairs.
All right. Just one moment. All right. You come on down the stairs. It doesn't seem to have noticed you as it's still patching the hole in the wall. It seems it's producing some sort of cement from one of its pockets and just sort of smearing it onto the wall.
Roth will just get a little closer and speak up. Hello, I don't remember requesting this kind of service for this host.
You watch it just sort of stand still for a moment before slowly turning towards you. It remains quite quiet. As it begins staring directly at you.
I did notice there was quite that hole in the wall, so you just need to repair it. I won't get in your way. I just merely wished there was some sort of notice you'd be coming by.
Right. As it takes a step towards you and attempts to grapple you, roll initiative. Very nice. All right. Yeah. Had a turn. Oh, whoa. Oh, gosh. I hate when it does that. Adds all the previous stuff. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. Go. 7. All right. Let's roll this guy's initiative. Okay. All right. So it got a 25 on the initiative, so it's going to be going first. Uh, see, Ross, please make a. You can either make an acrobatics roll or a strength roll to not be grappled. You have to beat a 16. All right. As you're deftly able to avoid its grasping hand. All right. John, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna leap down at it and try to stab it somewhere soft with a dagger.
All right. And you will get your sneak attack since he's within 5 feet of an ally. If you hit. Fortunately, a 14 does not hit.
I hit the helmet and it pinks off.
Mm-hmm. As, let's see here. So you've, like, moved down to, like, here.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Anything else?
Should be it.
Alright. Ross, it's your go.
Roth will just look on it. Surely there's no need for this.
You receive no response.
Roth will just, alright. And he'll just take out his rapier and then take a.
Mm-hmm.
And go into regular rapier form.
Mm-hmm. And so since this is, what's it called? Flanking? When you've got one person completely on the opposite side, you will have advantage on the attack roll. As a 22 does hit. Mm-hmm. All right. You give a quick thrust through the front of the suit. Though your rapier comes back clean as a whistle.
I did wonder if you were real or not. Or, well, rather, a human.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, that's the end of his turn.
All right. As he's attempting to grapple you once again. Oh, with only a 9. Surely you can beat that.
Oh, sorry, only 15.
Mm-hmm. All right, John.
All right. I'm gonna use eye for detail.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to see what I notice about it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. So your bonus action. It doesn't seem like anything's hiding in the room, and this thing in front of you, you aren't quite able to discern anything aside from it being quite a well-made suit.
All right. Do I see? Did I at least see anything behind the glass visor on it?
You couldn't quite tell.
All right. I'm gonna use my wolf cane to try to smash the visor in.
Mm-hmm. All right, you get advantage because it's flanking.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. A 20 will hit. Go ahead and roll that damage with sneak attack.
Okay. What dice damage again?
Uh,
D 1d20. No, sorry.
It's should be like 1d4 for a club, and then your sneak attack damage. 1d4 plus dex. Yeah. So 3 plus your dex is plus 2, I
My
think?
dex, yeah, plus 2, so 5.
So 5. Alright. And your sneak attack damage.
Okay, sneak attack is... It's 2d6, so
Mm-hmm.
5.
Alright. 5 more damage. Sounds good.
Do I crack?
Unfortunately, it does crack, but you're unable to see behind it. It doesn't. The glass doesn't fall out. It seems reinforced in some way.
How thick? How thick is the crack?
Mm, not very thick.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm out of action, so I pass my turn.
All right. Roth, it is now your turn. As this thing seems to kind of be turning away from you and focusing more on John.
Roth will move over here and then hold out his Takora deck and cast Spray of Cards.
All right. Is that a deck save?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's another nat 1. That is a 6.
I mean,
It'll take. Mm-hmm.
it's a suit of it's a suit of armor basically. It can't be that dexterous on its own.
All right, that's 9 force damage. Okay.
And I think it is now blinded if it can be blind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he'll just go back to his regular position and just keep holding in.
All right. All right. Let's see here. It's going to attempt to grapple John this time, seeing that it's had no luck grabbing Roth. It's a 19. So to avoid being grappled, you can either roll strength or acrobatics. Okay. So the 19 beats it. So you're able to deftly dodge out of the grapple. It seems that this thing is getting exasperated as it seems to clutch its helmet and just sort of shake it violently. As it begins making a move for the staircase, you both get attacks of opportunity with no advantage.
Okay. I will use the Wolfkin again.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, 6 does not hit. 21 does, however. 9, all right. As it makes its way up to the top of the staircase. And there we go. All right. John, it is your turn.
Okay. First thing I'm gonna do is it already at the top of the staircase?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's made it to the floor above.
Alright, well, gotta follow it. Blom.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna spread a bunch of all of my ball bearings in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Try to trip it up.
All right.
And then once again, gonna hit it with my cane.
Okay.
Oh.
5 does not break its armor.
Okay. Yeah, there should be ball bearings all around this little area now.
Yep, ball bearings can cover a 10-foot by 10-foot area. So
Alright.
you could do like this area, or you could do a different area.
I'm gonna do about. Oh, you can't see that. This area right in front of the door.
All right. I gotta clean up the random lines I made. Give me a moment. All right, so kind of the area in front of the door.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's Roth's turn.
Roth will just do like do a shrug because he was kind of content to just let it go and then just half-heartedly follow off the stairs. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm like, wait, like right here?
Yeah, you'd probably be like right there.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is the door open?
This one is open, yes.
Roth will. I guess he'll like look into a trance, and then he'll use the new feet he picked up to close the door.
Okay. All right. So this door, John, you watch this door just sort of moved closed on its own.
Okay.
Adley, and he'll just say, "Please, don't go away, oh." And then that'll be the end of his turn. Actually, can I take a swing at it from here?
You can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll try and take a swing then.
An 18 does not hit.
Okay,
Okay.
that is the end of my turn.
All right. As it attempts to barrel through, you'll need to make a dex saving throw as he tries to move through the ball bearings. The dex save is DC 10. It gets a 7. He watches this thing takes one step into the ball bearings and falls completely face first onto the floor. All right. John, it is your turn.
Okay. And I got grab something out of my inventory real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna. While this thing is prone, I'm gonna grab its hands behind its back, and use one of my hempen ropes to tie its hands behind its back.
Okay. You'll need to overcome its strength to get its hands behind its back. It would be a strength check against its own.
Oh, this is gonna go poorly.
So it's rolled 3 nat 1s and a 2 in this fight. As
Oh my god.
you wrench its hands behind its back and start tying it down. Its hands are now immobilized.
Okay.
Anything
I'm
else
gonna
on your
use
turn? Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use the rest of my turn to try to wrench the helmet off its head.
Probably can't do all that in one turn.
Alright. In that case, I'm just gonna stab it in the leg with a dagger.
I'd say tying its hand behind its back was probably an action.
Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna sit on it.
All right. Roth?
Roth will just look at it confused as, what made you? And he'll also just come up the stairs.
As you ask the question, what made you? You just hear a a sort of soft come from inside the helmet.
Try and use my. How attached does his helmet look like to his body?
I mean, it's a pretty well sealed suit. I mean, it looks like it would be perfect for diving underwater.
Okay. Oh wait, my detect magic's still going on, right?
Yeah, he is still like radiating that magic.
Is there like a place of it where it seems like it's centered on, or is it just the whole thing?
It's just like the whole thing.
Okay. Um, can I try and use my telekinetic ghost power to try and shove off his helmet?
Probably not. It's pretty well
Okay.
connected.
I will instead. Okay, surely this won't go poorly. I'll try and just stand in front of it where the door is. I know that's where the ball bearing is, so I'm probably gonna have to make a save.
If you move at half speed, you don't have to make the save.
Half speed, it would take me 10 feet to get here.
Yeah.
Okay, I had 20, so that would be all my movement then.
hmm
And I'll just prepare to attack when he gets up.
All right. Okay. All right. So it begins taking an attempt to throw you off of its back, John. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw as it attempts to knock you off. All right. It is able to sort of knock you off and stand back up. Let's see if it makes the dex save on the ball bearings again. It successfully doesn't fall down as it tries to move past you, Ross, with its hand still tied behind its back.
What are we rolling a save? Am I rolling a save now?
You said you were going to attack it when it
Oh,
stood up.
yes.
hmm
So one swing.
Yeah.
Where my rapier go? Nope.
Nope. And as it moves away from you, John, you can also take an attack of opportunity.
I'll attack its legs with the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Unable to pierce. All right. As it tries to shove you to the side. Well, actually, it already used the shove to get John off of him. So he's gonna stick here trying to get through the doorway. John.
All right. I'm gonna use my short bow to try to pierce its legs again.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it does not hit.
Okay, I'm gonna do insightful fighting again.
Okay. Let's see here. Needs to make a deception roll. Okay. You don't get any insight on what it's going to do next.
All right. Your turn, Roth.
I'll open the door and just peek out. Is there any furniture nearby?
The only furniture you know of are like the chairs and tables that are in the kitchen area.
Yeah, there's nothing in here, right?
Right. There's nothing in there.
You could go through the door, quickly go through the door, shut it back before this thing has time to get through it, and set up a barricade. We still have a lot of wood left over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll try and do that. So I will move off of this and start going towards the wood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll shut the door as I leave.
Mm-hmm. Its hands are currently bound, so It'll take some
Oh,
time for it to break down the door.
yeah, I guess I'll just use my action to start barricading. Or placing some of the wood in front of him, of the storm.
Okay. You walk over and grab some wood. I'll probably take your action for picking up everything.
Okay. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Alright. This thing attempts to run over to the door. Let's see if it makes its dex save. It succeeds the ball bearing check. Alright, and it's gonna attempt to break down the door. With a 22, it shoulder checks the door, and what flimsy lock was on it just flies open. It's sort of, you just hear the thump, 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 thump as it appears behind you, Raw. John.
Yeah, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move behind it, avoiding the ball bearings as best I can
Mm-hmm.
to try and get a rapier stab off of it.
Go ahead and roll the hit. 17 does not hit.
All right.
Okay. Roth, it appears behind you. What would you like to do?
I'll close the door and then I'll just telekinetically move some of the wood in front of it.
Okay. All right.
And then, realizing I don't think there's any way in hell I'm stopping this thing from escaping realistically, I'm just gonna go here. Maybe just like, yeah, over here, and I'm gonna attempt to stealth so I can try and follow it when it leaves.
All right. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, there you go. All right. Go ahead and roll stealth. 15?
Yeah,
All right.
15.
All right. It once again attempts to shoulder check its way through the door that's been reinforced. 15, you hear a loud thump as some of the wood that you put in front of it sort of topples over, but the door remains closed. All right. John?
All right. Gonna try to make a. I'm gonna use my my insightful fighting to see if I notice any chinks in its armor.
All right. Perception versus deception. You're able to get a bit of a read on where a good place to stab it would be. You have advantage on your next attack.
Okay. Hitting it with a rapier.
Double crit. Incredible. So, because you had advantage, you also get to roll your sneak attack damage. All of your dice that you roll are doubled. So, you'll roll
2d6.
Well, 2d6 for the rapier, and then 4d6 for the sneak attack.
Okay. And 40. Hang on, let me get my dice out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You watch as this thing sort of stands still for a moment, as you can hear sort of like kind of grinding sound come from within it before hearing a somewhat familiar voice inside. Please make,
This is a
yes, it's a voice from inside. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
I didn't mean to roll that with advantage. Sorry.
That's fine. We take the first roll. So 12. You watch as you begin to feel immense drowsiness overtake you as you fall unconscious on the floor. All right. Let's see here. Roth, you weren't really able to hear what happened, but you did hear a loud thump. As what would you like to do on your turn?
I think we're just gonna try and get a better position to hide from it so I can follow him.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. I'm going to cast. Shoot, no, I can't cast that. Okay, well, I'll just move like to the side of the house
Mm-hmm.
as I prepare to follow.
All right. As it, once again, you hear quite a loud thump as it shoulder checks the door. More wooden pieces sort of fall aside as you see a dent has sort of formed in the door. John, you've fallen unconscious. I assume Roth, you're still preparing.
Yeah.
All right. Another shoulder check as you hear it begin thumping closer. However, the moment you see it around the corner, please make a Constitution saving throw. As you immediately fall unconscious in the street.
Like, did I fall asleep?
Seems so. As combat has ended.
How long are we out?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even you, Roth. Yep.
Okay.
Let's see here. So, Roth, you awaken to a guy sort of standing over you. It's dead of night at this point. As he's just sort of like looking you over with a beer in his hand.
Good evening.
Howdy. As he takes a swig. You got nice hair.
I know.
Seems odd as you've never really felt time skip like this, Roth. But it definitely seems like time has passed quite a bit.
How long have you been watching me?
He sort of looks around. A while.
And you wouldn't have taken anything from me, have you?
Go ahead and he just sort of looks at you and just pulls something out of his pocket and just sort of sets it back next to you. No, as he starts walking away.
He'll pick it up,
Just a piece of
and then he'll
hair.
go back inside. How far is he?
He started walking very quickly down the side of your house.
Can I telekinetically break his beer bottle, or just
You,
try to shove it out of his hand?
yeah, you watch his beer bottle just gets slapped against the wall, and you just and starts walking faster.
I'll cast what you called silent image to make it look like a specter's flying towards him, and then go back inside.
Yeah, you walk in the door, and you just hear oh.
That sucked. And he'll just go back inside and look. And I guess he just assumes the same thing happened to
Mm-hmm.
John.
Yep. You do find John a bit unconscious, sleeping, like a pretty good sleep, probably. I assume you wake him up.
Yeah.
All right, John. You get a nice wake up call. Good old Roth
Okay.
in the middle of the night.
Okay. I'm gonna instinctively lash out at Roth here.
Mm-hmm. Well, an attack at disadvantage as you're just a bit groggy from waking up. Three as a wolf cane comes flying by Roth.
You're not the count.
What a way to say hello.
Did you happen to see where that diver man went?
No, for the first time in a long time, I also went to sleep.
My head's killing me.
Well, I suppose you might as well go to bed now. We can discuss in the morning. I'll keep watch.
Alright, I'm gonna head up to bed then.
All right. So, you have a nice time finishing out a long rest. Mm. All right. Yeah.
First thing I'm gonna do in the morning is recover my ball bearings.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Roth would have had them in a bag already.
A bit of night work.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna head down into the basement and investigate the area to see what all that thing did.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give the help action.
All right. You can investigate with advantage. Two. All right. So upon looking around, you find that all of the light bulbs have been swapped out for new ones. Floor seems to have been cleaned, and the stab wound in this back wall has been repaired, and it seems to have been repairing the hole that you used to first poke and check what was around the edges of this room when you first got here.
Is that everything?
Seems to be about it. Okay. Around this time, when you would hear a knock on the door, nice and early in the morning.
Do you want to answer that, Roth?
Sure. Roth will head off to the door.
Mm-hmm. Upon opening the door, you would find the old guy, Corbin. He's currently soaked from head to toe in water. Uh, it seems his clothes are a bit torn up a bit. He's holding a book in his left hand, and he gives you a nice hello.
Good morning. You seem quite wet. Should I invite you in to sit down? Get you a towel, perhaps?
Gives a good inhale. No, but too busy. As he pulls a bit of a soggy newspaper and hands it out towards you. As per the agreement of the Oakmont Housing Initiative, here is your weekly newspaper.
Thank you.
As you go to reach for it, he just sort of pulls it back a little bit. Might I ask, is Mark here today?
No, I didn't see him come home last night. Why? Is something wrong?
Very unfortunate. If you could deliver him a message, personal from me, he sort of leans in. Give me more work to do, and I will make it your problem. That's all. As he extends the newspaper once again for you to take.
Sure, no problem. And you can have a chipper day. He'll give him a bardic inspiration as he takes the newspaper.
As Corbin turns around and begins lightly jogging down the street, sopping wet.
Hmm. It was just Corbin, John. He dropped off the newspaper and also gave me a message from Mark.
And didn't we just receive the weekly newspaper like 3 days ago?
I think it's been about a week.
How long were we out again?
Not that long, but
You now have another newspaper to look through.
and sorry, what did he say? Oh, to deliver to Mark. I just want to write that down.
Yeah,
Sure.
the message was, make more work for me again, and I will make it your problem.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Throgmorton found dead on the docks. nature parks.
Why, nature can be quite nice. Plus, I did want to do some I was maybe thinking about going to the northern forest to follow up on, oh my gosh, the name Thong Boom Curd.
Mm-hmm.
One of the last things of evidence we found were some muddy boots, and I feel like they probably came from somewhere in the forest. But I want to get a better lead because it does sound like if we go now, it would be a goose chase.
Hey Rod, there's a new art store seeking employees if you're looking for employment.
I did see, but 3 copper is quite low, but I'm perhaps they'll give me something to do. And maybe I can meet some interesting people.
Perhaps. This town seems to be entirely populated with interesting people.
So Roth will just begin writing down in his notebook what he wants to do today.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just say, go to art store, go to museum, go northern forest, big question mark, remodel, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Candy hunt.
Not too interested with candy. It can rot your teeth.
There don't seem to be any ciphers in this newspaper. I think it might be worthwhile to go to the police anyway to see if we can see if they have anything interesting on them. At least until I have funds for my medical practice.
Yeah, it might be nice to catch up with Detective Caliban.
Okay, it looks like we're heading to the police station.
Right. Good enough. All right. Well, you begin making your way over to the police station. Would you like to mark out a path of travel, or you just want me to get you guys over there?
Let's get over there and roll luck to see what we run in to see if we run into the Big Daddy again.
All right. You can go and roll luck. 92. All right. Let's see. Well, as you're making your way over to the Oakmont police station, you happen to spot a little yard sale sign, as this person seems to have a table of things they're selling out front for quite cheap.
Do I find it? Do I see anything of interest?
A couple of knickknacks and things like candle holders, uh, like a toilet seat. Looks clean. Uh, Knickknacks, some old dolls, some old, well, not old, but some clothes that look fairly clean.
Nothing. So nothing of immediate obvious use.
Well, not particularly.
I'll just pass by then.
All right.
Anything of interest to you, Roth?
Let me see. Roth will just go over and take a look over at some of the goods. Maybe see if something speaks to him.
See
Mm-hmm.
if there's like a random mirror in there.
No mirrors, but the doll's eyes are kind of tiny.
Ooh, a doll. How long have you had this, might I ask?
It's been in my family for a while. Like it used to be my mother's old doll. You can sell it. It was a silver piece sound. Really well made. Looks nice.
Hmm. I'll take it. How about I haggle you to 1 gold piece?
Uh, dude, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
I just flip over the silver piece to stop Roth from scamming themselves.
As he takes the silver piece, looking slightly disappointed.
Hmm. And then, as he gets back on the boat with the doll, he'll telekinetically just drop uh, down one of his gold pieces, just
Mm-hmm.
looking like it fell from the sky.
Mm-hmm. All right. You guys make your way over to the police station. All right. When arrived at the lovely police station, you can go on inside and are met by the old guy behind the bars of the front desk. Oh, welcome back. How can I help you today?
Well, we saw the posting in the newspaper, and I thought since we already kind of helped with some of the investigation before, perhaps our services could be of use.
Hmm. Makes sense. I sure it wouldn't
Uh,
hurt to at least speak with the old detective.
How is he doing?
Hmm.
Tense or
Tense is the word. A little, well,
uh,
unsure of everything.
since this is my first time in the police station, I'm just gonna roll inside to see if I see anything off about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, 13. Taking a quick look around. Fairly uh, nice looking, but nothing immediately screams unusual. As the old man sort of goes out the back door of his front desk, and eventually the side doors leading into the uh, uh, main police station open as he invites you all in. Come on in. We'll get you up to the old detective.
all right.
Right. He sort of brings you up the very thin staircase that really only one person can go up at a time, and takes you over to Neil's office, kind of at the end. Right. As Neil seems to be working on some paperwork, the old man knocks. Neil, you have uh, some of your usual visitors. He looks up. Yeah, you can send him on in.
I introduce myself to the detective. Hello, I am Jonathan Stoker, vampire hunter and doctor.
Yeah, stands up, shakes her hand. Well, I
I
certainly
don't
hope we
shake
don't
his
have
hand.
any.
I just
I see. Yeah, her stands up. Well, I certainly hope we won't be needing your services, Mr. Vampire Hunter. Now, what can I do for you today?
I'm here about the murder of the Thogmorton.
Right. Michael, he washed up on the shores of Grimhaven Bay earlier this morning. I'm surprised they were able to get a full post or put that in the newspaper this quickly. It is quite the story.
Do you still have the body?
At the moment, the body's in the custody of the Throgmorton family. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but once facts started coming to light that this was a familial matter, they seem to have taken the investigation up themselves with one of their personal investigators, guy named Reed. Reed starts snapping his fingers.
Ass.
Reed Ass?
Barlow.
Yeah, Barlow's name. That's it. Picked any police officers out. Not much we can do.
I've never trusted people who don't cooperate with others.
Well, that is, if this were anyone but one of the largest families of the island, I would agree with you. But they have their own methods, and if they want to do things their way, not much we can do without bringing this up to the Blackwoods.
Very well. Do you know where this family is currently located?
Yeah, the Throgmorton, Throgmorton Manor is a little north of the police station in the southern parts of give me a moment. In the southern parts of Old Grove.
Thank you. I'll be sure to avoid that place.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, the only thing we're allowed to do is pass on any information that's given to us. Aside from that, they've got full jurisdiction over how the investigation proceeds.
So, I suppose that leaves us with the matter of this serial killer that's still at large.
Indeed. You guys sort of helped us with that one. Or at least he points over to Ross. Yeah, that decrypted message has mentioned the Devil's Bread Maker. So we started shaking down some of the drug peddlers up in Reed Heights, and eventually we got this new guy, Rowan Goodwood. He under a little bit of pressure, he finally came forward with the red letter that he received about 4 days ago. This one.
Do you still have this letter in your possession?
Of course. Though it won't be moved out of this office anytime soon, as he pulls it out from his desk drawer. Yeah. As you sort of open it, it describes how this Mr. Rowan Goodward had peddled the drugs to underage kids, as well as many young people throughout the city, including many of the young aspiring magicians at the university, poisoning the youth and vibrancy of the city. And for these crimes, he must either repent or face judgment.
Can I roll investigation on the note to see if I noticed anything about it that I can take out as a clue?
Sure. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Sorry.
You're good.
It lagged, so I clicked it twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, upon, reading it over, it seems more of just like a dogmatic message of repent or die, with a bit of flowery language added in. He said he got this about 4 days ago, so we have about 3 days left before the killer strike.
So what's your plan to keep
Yeah.
him safe?
Well, that's what we're kind of trying to work out. Ideally, if we can get the Blackwoods on board, we can move this man up into their mansion safe house underneath the building. Probably the safest place in the entire island. And if the killer can get in there, then, well, even the biggest families on the island might be in danger from this maniac.
That of course is assuming that this killer is a physical threat that can be blocked by walls or guards.
Indeed, which, based on the death of our previous investigator on the topic, Mr. Keaton, it is certainly able to bypass many doors and locks and guards.
Did that gentleman receive a letter as well?
Indeed. Apparently, he had gotten too close to finding out the Red Letter Killer's identity, and so he was told either stop impeding justice or die. And he stupidly chose death.
Do you know where this letter currently is?
Yep. As he pulls out that letter from his desk. I believe it's this one here.
First thing I'm gonna just look at the handwriting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the smears, I should be able to tell if it was left-handed or right-handed.
Mm-hmm. It appears to be right-handed.
Okay. And other than the red envelope, is there anything unusual about the ink or paper?
I mean, the paper itself is also red. Not too sure of any places that have red paper that you can get easily.
Would it be all right with you if I tore a piece off of one of these envelopes? I asked the detective.
I don't think that would be okay. I need to ask, get a bit of confirmation with Mr. Argus Blackwood before I allow tampering with evidence like that.
I'm not tampering with evidence. I'm investigating evidence.
Well, whatever it is that you're trying to do, I have to let Argus decide.
Very well. Inform him that I want to see if the red coloring of this paper is made as part of the production of the paper, or if it has been painted red.
All right. I'll let him know. Anything else?
Yes, it would likely be beneficial to find any large collection of contracts that have been signed and compare the handwriting on those to the handwriting on the letters.
Suppose. So any sort of paperwork would be in the city hall again. That's under Blackwood jurisdiction. We need
Good. We can ask for
Yeah.
we can ask for permission when we're asking for permission to rip up the letter.
I see.
As for the red paper itself, are there any major paper production facilities around here?
No, most of the paper comes in from Carpenter's shipment.
So it would likely be well, that gives us the first thing we do while you get permission from the Blackwoods. We're gonna go see the Carpenters.
Very well. Might take me a day or so to get permission. How about I send you a message once I've got that and got the decision?
Very good, very good. Let's see if there's anything else we need permission for.
Where should I send the letter?
I just write down the address.
All right, he's got your address.
Okay. One more thing. What color is the ink?
Black.
Black. Okay. So that doesn't give me a lot of. Okay, so I reread the letters again to see if I notice any kind of cipher on them.
It seems that these letters that warn the person of their imminent death if they don't repent don't include ciphers.
One more thing, and this is a non-destructive test, so I don't need permission to do this. I'll hold the letter up to a light to see if I can see through the paper.
It seems the paper's thick enough that there's nothing shown when looking through it up to a bright light.
Alright, so that's not an answer. Okay, so we're looking for someone who mainly writes with their right hand, who has access to red paper. They don't use prestidigitation, otherwise they would just prestidigitate the bodies away. Unless they actively want people afraid of them, which is a very reasonable possibility.
You can't really prestidigitate bodies away. I mean, you can clean them up, but...
They would hide as much evidence as possible, which is clearly not what they're doing.
Yeah. He lets you know that basically every victim has been found with hundreds of stab wounds, so yeah. That's usually his MO, just leave the body in that state to be found.
Could you tell me the average measurements of these stab wounds?
He lets you know that the victims usually appear like a mincemeat by the end, with no consistent variation between the stab wound sizes.
So likely using multiple knives in each of these murders. At least if these are knives being used. Ask him for more details about the stab wounds. Like for the clearest example, if you could tell what kind of instrument was being used.
He tells you that's really near impossible to tell. Every stab wound seems to be a unique size and shape, and once you get to so many stab wounds, it gets overlapping and messy and very difficult to tell anything from anything else.
Uh, tell me, sir, is not likely. Were there any was there any damage to the environment around the bodies that you could have known? Any
Not
signs
a
of
scratch.
struggle?
No sign of struggle, no scratches. And every single room and building that these attacks have ever taken place in had not a sign of forced entry whatsoever. In fact, no signs of entry, really. Doors shut. Everything locked.
Fascinating. It, I'm just making guesses here, but it might be you have a vengeful spirit in your city, and that is taken to decided that it is the arbiter of good society and is lashing out at people.
Indeed, but we did have a couple of the Throgmorton mages monitoring when our old Jamie Keaton, the previous investigator, was being targeted. The night of the attack, they didn't sense anything.
Perhaps not a ghost, then. Do you know how long each attack occurs for? If it's a normal...
The only person we have reference for is Jamie. And he disappeared and showed back up about an hour later, dead, in the same room that he disappeared in.
Okay, for someone to be able to stab someone, that you said hundreds of times, correct?
You're correct.
Okay, 3,000 seconds in an hour. If you're doing, let's say it takes about, I would say about 3 seconds to do for a normal person to do one stab. This is a very, very quick killer.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming, of course, that the stab wounds do not occur all at once, which I would need to see a body to determine. It's also possible that they're using the stab wounds to cover up the actual form of murder, which is something else. Not drained of blood, so we can rule out vampires, mostly. Round. Do you have anything to say, Roth?
Not too much. This is a bit out of my wheelhouse.
Well, let's go pay the carpenters a visit, then.
Actually, I do have one thing. There was one thing that was on my mind about Thong Boon Kurd, the last victim. There wasn't too much found, but I did notice there were some muddy boots.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a wood carver, right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering if there was some place in the northern forest he'd like to go to, and maybe there are some details there.
Maybe. He pulls out a quick sheet of paper and let's see here. He gives you a quick sort of sketch of the northern part of the island. Let's see. Now I know that, let's see here, this area around here is about Oakmont. We're about right here. The northern part of the island, if you keep going north, about right here, there's a big circular lake. And about right here is one of the old large cave systems. If you can go in there, there's actually quite a few people who live up there. If there's any information on that Thong Bunker, you might be able to get some from them. Don't know too much about them, but they're apparently fairly welcoming newcomers. Aside from that, just watch step. Honestly, I don't know too much about what's up there.
Well, perhaps it will help on this investigation somewhat.
All right. My screen just went off just a second. There it goes. Okay, so first thing I'd like to do is talk to the carpenters about the bodies. Then I'd like to purchase myself a firearm and learn how to use one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll start our trek up into the forest.
I will say, if you're gonna, after the carpenter, perhaps when you go to the gun shop, we'll take a quick. Is the art store close by?
Let's go back to the map. Based on the newspaper, you'd find that the art store is kind of on the corner here, kind of near the Carpenter Trade Depot. Let me change the name here real quick. Here we go, the art store. It's over in the Advent, kind of to the east of the Carpenter Trade Depot.
After we finish at the Carpenter Depot, Roth will just take a tour to the art store to try and see if he can apply.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Off to the carpenters then.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I assume Roth is going to the art store while John goes to the Carpenter Depot.
Oh no, I'd assist with the Carpenter's Depot. When we finish up that one, I'll go to the art store.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So I assume you head straight into the large depot?
Yep. I gave the attendants the fake name I gave them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, yes, I'm looking for a firearm. I read a little bit about them while I was at the library. I'm looking for a pistol, revolver.
Mm-hmm. I sort of look you up and down. You do have a permanent, right?
Didn't know I needed one. I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need a permit to buy, airborne neurotoxins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I need a permit to buy a basic firearm. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I asked around to figure out how to get the permit.
Mm-hmm. They let you know that to get the permit, you'll have to take a firearm training class over on the far western side of Reed Heights.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that while Roth is at the art store.
All right. See here. So you're going to go and take the class?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll start off with Roth heading over to the art store. Okay. So as you head on over to sort of just outside the big carpenter trade area where all the shops are sort of open stalls, you come across a small little building across the street, which has a grand opening little banner hanging above it, as it appears to be the Little Flower Art Store.
What an adorable little spot. Roth would just say to himself as he walks in.
Mm-hmm. On walking in, you find that there's quite a few paintings hung on the wall of different people, as well as many paints hanging on the wall, and a woman from behind the desk greets you. She seems to be one of the fish folk of this town. Hello, how can I help you?
Hi, I saw you're posting the newspaper, and I feel like this is the perfect place for me to help out in this town.
Oh, yes, indeed. Let's see here. Do you have any artistic pursuits yourself?
I'd say I'm a bit of a versatile performer. I can do singing, I can do some instruments here and there.
Mm.
Drawing, I can do some. I'd say I'm at like uh 8 when it comes to drawing.
Mm. Quite wonderful. Mhm. Let's see. Mm. Now, would you like to focus mainly on the store side of things, selling, or would you like to uh, be in charge of handling some commissions?
Um, if I what kind of commissions would I be if I were to handle them? What would they be?
Mm-hmm. She sort of points to some of the portraits on the wall. Many of the families on the island do enjoy having portraits made of their family members, especially the Blackwood family. Um, you would be mostly in charge, well, early on, handling some of the easier portraits, or uh, maybe not even portraits. I know the carpenters really enjoy landscape paintings. Uh, you may be in charge of some of those. Now, we will need to see some evidence of your skills, so that job is a bit more difficult to get than the counter work, but it does pay a bit better as well.
Hmm. I would like to do that, but I'm not sure if my material would be up to scuff.
I understand.
Um, from my time around the island, have I seen anything to do with anything like makeup or things like that? Like shops about it?
Mm, I mean, it seems that is a small section for like makeup and a little bit of perfumes, but it seems this shop is mostly for like paint to paint your house, or paint portraits. There's lots of easels and canvases and paints and the like.
Mm-hmm. Would you be willing to offer a unique service? As a performer, I'm quite adept at using makeup.
Mm, well, we weren't planning on selling those sorts of services.
Hmm, I see. But that's fine. I willing to try my hand at some of the other portrait stuff if that would be fine.
Of course.
I
I see.
have some recent drawings I've done on the island, and he'll take. Oh, I can't. I gave those away, didn't I?
You did. You sold them to the professor. Or not
That
the
is
professor, the
right.
doctor.
Would I be able to use a smart token to draw them all back from memory?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. He'll open his sketchbook and then to try and flip around and find it and then just have a blink of, oh, I did sell those. One moment. And he'll redraw what he drew.
Mm-hmm. He sort of like is curiously like trying to look around to see what you're drawing. But she can't really climb over the counter to look, so she's just sort of waiting patiently.
As he'll draw, say, what would the hours be? I also do some adventuring work and I'm also a bit of a medium around the island.
Hmm. Well,
So I'm not the most available.
yeah, it would be quite a problem for uh, actually selling things in the store, but commission work is much more free flowing as long as you have your work done by the deadline.
I've never missed a deadline in my life.
Mm. Go ahead and roll, I'll say with advantage from your smart token for the new drawings since you're hurriedly sketching them down. What roll should we do? Sleight of hand is usually for drawing.
Okay. All right. Slide up. I'll give myself my racial thing. So 19.
15. All right. You've recreated the creatures you saw that day from memory pretty well.
These were one of the creatures I saw in the harbor when I was clearing it
Mm.
out.
Oh
Quite horrible
my,
stuff.
indeed. Hmm. Well, um, how about I give you hmm, why don't we spend some time here and you can make my portrait and we can assess your skills from that.
I would love to.
All right. Okay. And so she sort of sets you up a small, uh, probably piece of paper size canvas, uh, and give you some of the cheaper paint to work with, and asks you just to make a portrait of her while she handles other customers. And once you're done, if it's satisfactory work, you may sign you on as a commissioned artist.
All right.
Okay. As see here as John Stoker is. You got the address of the gun shop as far west on Reed Heights. You can see it's west of the university, kind of up along the water.
Ah, good. A gun store that's right next door to a school. I see nothing bad happening here. All right. What All right. What do I see when I get there?
Well, the first thing you notice is that in order to get there, you actually have to take a boat as on the water. Coming up to the rickety dock, you can see that the outside is very heavily reinforced with well, quite a few bars on the windows, and it seems that the wooden exterior has kind of given way to, or kind of been falling off and revealing concrete beneath, solid stone underneath it. But as you've been approaching, you have heard quite the loud bang every once in a while. So it seems to be a gun store, though there is no signage out front that would say so.
I knock on the door. Using the can, I knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Give me just one moment. Right. So, as you give the door a quick knock, I'll post a picture of what greets you as the door is flung open. As the man stares you down. What do you want?
I heard this was a firearms store.
Yeah, it's a firearm store. Yes.
I'm here to get a firearm license.
Oh. Hmm. He pulls away his 9-barreled gun. Sort of looks you up and down. You look shady.
I'm a vampire hunter, sir.
You don't go biting my neck, I shoot you. As he allows you into the store.
Okay, I look around the store and just to see what I see.
Mm-hmm. He has quite a few guns hanging up on the wall. This place is also quite a mess, as he has a couple disassembled guns throughout the store. As he begins walking back behind the counter, he's just, you come to me for learning, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. You come to me for learning because I'm the best. Even carpenters say so.
I'm sure that they're correct.
Yeah. As he sets a small handgun on the counter. And you pick it up.
I pick it up by the barrel, careful to keep my fingers from the trigger.
You're not gonna get far being scared.
Very well. I definitely shift my hand into the correct position, still keeping my finger off the trigger.
Yes. For firearm, you must have courage. As he opens up one of the back door. We shoot.
All right.
As he leads you back through the house. You eventually get into a fairly long room as he pulls a cord on the side of the wall as sort of flaps fling open, and you can see out into the ocean, out into the fog. There's quite a few targets that have been set up, it seems. Yeah. You see targets out in water. Yes. We practice with guns.
All right. I check to see if the gun is loaded.
You check and find that it is got a full magazine of 8 bullets.
All right.
All right. You hit half. If you hit half, then we talk more.
Okay, so I had to successfully get 4 shots.
And it seems that most of them are pretty far out, but there is one that's probably close enough that you won't have disadvantage shooting at it, as there's also quite a bit of fog out in the sea.
All right.
As he sort of leans on his 9-barreled gun. Go ahead. Also, you try to shoot me, you die.
Naturally.
Go ahead.
All right. Dexterity check.
Not a dexterity check. It's an attack roll, but you can only add your dexterity to it. So a d20 plus your dex. You'll need to roll probably, for how far out it is, probably a 14 in order to hit it.
9 plus my dexterity modifier is 2, so 11.
As
Try
he
that
just
again.
sort of listens. Miss.
All right.
You are aiming, yes?
I take time, adjust my position, and carefully look down the sights. I am not good at this, okay?
I see that.
All right. Oh, come on! $12 plus 2, that's a 14.
That would hit. First ping. Lovely sound. Though the 4 shots before make me cry inside.
Okay. Well, I just failed. Alright, doing the rest anyway. 1, 2, 3. That one also hit.
3. You almost make me happy. It seems we must practice more. He sort of looks you up and down. Very well. I give more training, but it costs you now.
Alright. How much?
For ammunition, you will need to become good shot. 200 gold piece.
I hand over the gold.
Ugh. As he's kind of like surprised as you hand him over just 200 gold. Okay. We practice. As he regains his composure and sets a bunch of bullets in front of you. As you both have a nice long practice session that takes probably the rest of the day. As he basically criticizes you and keeps giving you half advice, half insult. Alright, back to the flower shop. Or little flower art store. Roth, go ahead and roll a couple of sleight of hand as you paint the main sales lady of the store.
Okay. I'm gonna give myself the tail of the clever animal just to increase my chances. So it's just do it. So. Oh.
So,
So,
you give the classic Bob Ross screaming of, Bob, it's great. Then, Bob, you've messed it up. Then, he saved it.
I pulled it together in the end.
Yeah. In the end, you were able to. You made a happy little accidents in the middle there, but you ended up saving it in the end. As she eventually comes over, having finally gotten to a slow point in the day, as new customers have the store is fairly empty as she comes over. All right, let's see what you've got.
I know it's probably not very good.
Mm-hmm. Sort of looks it over. Oh my, this is quite lovely. I think we'd be happy to have you as a commissioned artist for us.
Oh, really? I'd be quite flattered.
As she does hand you 30 gold pieces for the art piece. This is just for me. As she takes it and hangs it up on the wall.
Hmm.
All right. Well, let's see here. Let's see. Takes out a bit of paperwork and starts looking through it. We'll start you off with some simple stuff. Here you are. As she hands you a request from a carpenter. Let's see. This she wanted a nice landscape of some dense trees, uh, ideally with some animals frolicking about.
Okay. What a coincidence. I'm going to be heading off to the northern forest. Maybe I can get some inspiration.
All right. And she lets you know that payment for that piece will be around 200 gold pieces upon completion. And you have about 5 days.
All right. I'll see you in 5 days.
Mm-hmm. He also gives you a wide canvas to work on, as well as some more of those basic paints.
Hmm. Then he'll leave the shop and just, I guess, wait near the trade depot to regroup with John.
Mm-hmm. It gets quite far into the afternoon as John, you've fired off probably 100 rounds at this point. And you've gotten to the point where you can reliably hit 4 targets out of 8. You now have half proficiency. Let's see. So you can, any firearm rolls you have, get a +1 from your proficiency.
Hey.
And
That's not what I wanted.
all right. As he eventually signs a bit of paperwork and gives you a fairly nicely minted coin that he says is your permit for firearm ownership.
All right, I put it in one of my coat pockets.
Mm-hmm. And he just reminds you, don't shoot wrong people or you will die.
Of course not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
finally fix that.
Hmm.
Alright, now I'm gonna go buy that firearm.
All right. You make your way back over to the depot, and you probably see Ross just hanging out. Holding a big canvas in his hand.
Need help with that?
Sure.
Alright. We're gonna find somewhere to put it where it's not gonna get damaged. Then I'm gonna go buy my firearm.
Mm-hmm. All right. You walk
Okay.
on into the depot.
I hail a store clerk and tell them what I'm looking for, flashing the firearm permit.
Mm-hmm. May I see the coin for a moment?
I hand it over.
Mm-hmm. He sort of presses it onto the book and. Okay. What firearm were you looking for?
A revolver.
Revolver. Okay. Nothing special or interesting. Just regular revolver. Got it. As
Regular
he
revolver.
hands the coin back to you. Right this way. He begins making his way down the aisles once again. Again, going to the second floor this time. As he eventually finds a fairly small box that is a bit trapped under some larger boxes. He spends a moment moving things and eventually pulls this box and pries it open. From within, you can see 3 different revolvers. They seem all fairly similar.
I just pick one at random.
Mm-hmm. Oh, lovely choice there. As he uh, sets it back, or sets the top back on, closes it up. Were you looking for anything else today, sir?
Ammunition.
Of course. As he begins taking you down another aisle. Can't have a lovely fire without any firewood. As he eventually gets to a fairly large box, which he pries open. Let's see. Please select your ammunition, and we'll bring it to the front for you.
I find the ammunition that fits the revolver, and say I get about 20 of it. Actually, no. It's a 6-shot revolver, right?
Yeah.
So I'll take 24.
24.
4 reloads.
Mm-hmm. Very good, sir. As he marks down which ones you want and close it up. Shall we go to the front, sir?
That sounds excellent.
Mm-hmm. Right. Upon arriving at the front.
Oh, I forgot something. I do need to buy some other items if that's all right with you.
Oh, yes, of course.
I need 3 mops and 3 buckets.
Mops and buckets. Very well, very good, sir. As he quickly finds those back down on the first floor. The mops themselves are pretty simple, and he notes their extra absorbency for picking up all those awful spills.
I won't be using it for cleaning up spills, sir.
Yes, of course. Seems a bit confused, but don't question the customer as he also helps you find a couple of well-made buckets, perfect for any of your fire-related needs of putting them out, or containing slop, or whatever have you.
I pick whatever look. I pick the ones that look the cheapest.
Mm-hmm. All right. Will that be all for you, sir?
That should be it.
Very good. He takes you back to the front, and as some other people bring up everything else you wanted to purchase, taking you back again to one of those sort of tables hidden away in the boxes. All right. Well, a firearm will be about 500 gold pieces. Additionally, ammunition would be, yeah, about 10 gold pieces per round. So that could be 240. The mops
So
and
740 right now.
the mops and buckets will be about a silver piece and 3 copper pieces.
All right. I hand over 740 gold.
Mm-hmm.
That puts me at 197.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give him my Piltons to trade for the mops. We got
Python?
5 of them.
Okay.
Pythons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very well. Let's see. Could be 1 silver piece left remaining in the balance.
Very well. Very good. I flip the remaining silver piece to him.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Will you be needing any other services today, sir?
No, sir, I will not.
Very good. Have a wonderful day. All right.
Okay. Okay. I'm making the pistol attack. What stats do I give the pistol?
No, it has the range of a short bow, which is 8320,
Okay.
and its damage is 4d6 plus dex,
Hang on. So how long is this range again?
80 feet to 320 feet.
Okay. Range is 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Damage is 1d.
Damage is 4d6.
Okay. Damage is 46.
Plus dex.
All right. And is that everything?
You put 4d5 in as the damage.
Sorry, 46, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm helping you fill it out, so don't be
Okay.
alarmed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have half proficiency in firearms, so do I mark that?
No, you don't mark proficient, but you do get the +1. So it's,
Okay.
your current proficiency bonus is 2, so you only get a +1. Yeah.
All right. That should be everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now I add 24 bullets.
Yep. And as you're leaving, he just gives you a, "Do be careful, sir. Those are quite dangerous."
Not as dangerous as what I'm going to be using it on, sir.
Very good. All right.
All right. Anything else for today?
It is quite far into the evening at this point.
All right. In that case, we still need to talk to the carpenters about the bodies, so I suggest we go do that.
I also want to take a visit to the museum.
All right, we can split up for this part.
Oh, are you sure?
All right, I'll follow you to the museum.
No, it's okay. We can go to yours first.
Very well then. Let's go look at some dead bodies, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, gonna make ourselves make our way to the head carpenter section.
Give me a moment. Okay, so where exactly are you headed? Are you heading back into the depot?
We're looking for where we would talk to someone about the bodies being held by the carpenters.
Let's see. Which bodies? Just quick remind me.
The ones that have hundreds of stab wounds on them.
I thought it was held by the Blackwoods, or was it the Carpenters?
It was the Blackwood.
Okay, well, let's talk to the Blackwoods then.
Okay. Where would you like to go for talking with the Blackwoods?
Okay, their headquarters isn't City Hall. I think we forgot to ask where the Blackwoods would keep their bodies. Well,
If I remembered, wasn't there a place in Reed Heights? Unless they keep, I mean, they could have a private cemetery.
You do remember being told by Corbin that not to go to the cemetery or the paladins would kill you.
Yes, I remember that.
well, it looks like we're going to the cemetery.
Are you sure?
I just want to talk to the paladins is all.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not actually going to approach the paladins. I'm just gonna look at them from a distance.
All right. So you guys currently don't know where the cemetery is.
Was it Reed Heights somewhere? I can't remember what Corbin said. Shoot.
Actually, you know what? Let's head to the Symphony Hall.
Oakmont Symphony Hall. All right.
Okay, so right now, Rotha, Oakmont Symphony Hall is owned by a cult called the Tritones, who seem to be obsessed with music and wearing musical instruments, and they're also potentially turning to lives of crime.
Oh, I love music.
Perhaps it might be a good idea to fill your ears with beeswax then.
All right. Well, then under the dark of night, you approach the Oakmont Symphony Hall. Okay.
Okay. Do we hear the usual sounds of symphonies and music playing?
Yep. Upon kind of docking your boat, you do hear off in the distance the loud sounds of music in the distance.
All right. Time to finish what I started. I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
Okay.
Just loudly knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Moment. All right. You give a hearty knock on the door. And eventually the music begins dying down, and someone slightly opens the door and peers through.
Is it the same gentleman with a trombone on his head?
It is not. This person is currently, well, elbow deep in a couple of drums.
Ah.
Roth will take out some castanets and start clacking them.
The guy just sort of looks over at you. Gives you an approving nod. And then just sort of glares at John.
May we come in, good sir?
He points at Mr. Castanet. You may come. Join the music. He points at John. You may not.
Okay.
As he opens the door for Roth.
Hold on. Roth is looking through his bag. Oh.
As Roth is passing by, I'm gonna slip him a sedative syringe.
Huh? Roth will just say, but he can't come. And he'll pull out a lute out of his bag and put it into his hands.
I play the lute.
Okay. Go ahead and roll performance. As the lute is a lot more difficult than castanet.
Hang on. 14.
Yep, you give the lute a couple strums, and he looks at you. Okay, you can come too. As he lets both of you in. Let's see here. The front room of the symphony hall is fairly run down. In front of the main doors is a sort of ticket stand. Off to the right seems to be a sort of refreshment area where they once sold foods and drinks and such. And directly ahead of you in the ticket stand, there's a door to the left and right which appear to lead further into the symphony hall.
When the man turns his back, I'm not sure this is a good idea, actually. I asked Roth, you okay? Just loud enough that Roth can hear, but the man can't. You okay with carrying it? Do you have any rope on you? I lost mine to the diver.
I'm not quite sure what we're doing.
We're doing an investigation, of course.
Okay. I don't have any rope other than the one I used for my grappling hook.
That'll do.
As you begin approaching him, you sort of feel as the floor begins rumbling just slightly as the man just sort of looks around. Very agitated. We must soothe.
Okay, while its back is turned, I'm gonna plunge one of my sedative vials into his neck and depress it,
Okay.
just injecting him with surgery grade sedative.
Mm-hmm. All right. You can roll your attack roll with advantage.
Okay, 1d20.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you'll just
And I,
be barely
I also
able
get a
to.
sneak attack off that.
You can roll your sneak attack, sure.
Okay, that's 2d6.
All right. As this man in front of you, you just watches stab him, inject him, and he begins convulsing on the ground. It seems you may have hit something quite vital with that sneak attack damage.
Is he still alive?
He's probably not gonna be in too very much sooner.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do emergency CPR on him
Mm-hmm.
to try to mitigate it and just do what I can to keep him alive as long as possible.
All right. Go ahead and roll medicine as he's sort of convulsing. Not looking the healthiest after that stab. All right. He definitely doesn't look too good, but he's stable for the moment. Question mark?
All right. We're gonna tie him up with a rope and take him back to our basement.
All right.
Actually, no, not all the way to the basement. We're gonna find a secluded location in the symphony hall itself. No, not in the symphony hall itself, just nearby, like an alleyway or something.
Outside of it.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand for tying him up, I suppose. All right.
So that's the one I rolled good on.
Yep. He's tied up nice and good. Where would you like to drag him outside? You've got the map in front of you.
All right. We'll probably take him about right here-ish, and just look for somewhere private.
All right. You're able to find, since this is the, well, as you approach back here, this is the wall that separates the shells from Salvation Harbor. So there is a guy with a gun guarding the sort of wall here.
All right. Do I still have the permission to go in there?
You do? What would you like to do about the unconscious man that you're dragging around?
I give an explanation of what we're doing and that this is police business.
All right. Please roll deception as this guy looks a bit concerned. So it turns to you as, I don't know no police business with the unconscious guys. I think you should get as he points his gun towards you.
Very well then. I back away slowly
Mm-hmm.
and just go somewhere else. Just probably about in between the buildings here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you've got him kind of in a secluded area. What would you like to do?
Okay. Okay. How long does the sedative last?
An hour or so.
Okay, that's not that. We don't have time to get him back to the house then. I don't think, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I look for anything I can use to bind his feet in the alleyway.
Well, I mean, you'd probably have enough rope from the climbing gear stuff to bind him.
Alright. We'll bind his feet as well.
Okay.
Ross just kind of in shock about what he's witnessing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else
And
before
then,
he? Yeah, go ahead.
next I'm gonna... Are there any abandoned... This would be a lot easier if we were able to go into Salvation Harbor. But
Mm-hmm.
are there any abandoned buildings that I can enter from here?
Not entirely sure. All these buildings have been thoroughly boarded up and integrated into the wall. And you see, even though it's deep at night, you see the occasional lights coming from these buildings around.
Okay, well, in that case, we'll just take him via boat back to our house.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wakes up before then, I'll just give him another sedative.
All right. See here. So, which waterway would you like to drag him over to?
Okay, let me find the motion thing.
Should just be able to click and hold, and it'll give a little ping.
Okay. Along this route.
All right. Okay. So you've got a guy in the boat. Would you like to disguise him in any way before you get moving?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it look like he's just sleeping
Okay.
and drunk, and I'm gonna break the drums off of him.
Okay. Let's see here. Go ahead and roll deception to make him look like he's drunk and not, tied up against his will.
Hang on, there we go.
Yep.
Okay, I did not do a good job of that.
Ross,
In
would
that
you like
case,
to give it a shot yourself?
I guess I'll just use my disguise kit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're able to kind of disguise it up like there's fake vomit on him, so looks a bit more convincing. Okay.
okay. And if anyone asks about the rope, we could just say it's to stop him from thrashing. If
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what
as
path
for
are you gonna take for getting back up to your house?
this one,
Okay. Straight through the advent. All right. Great. Go ahead and
this one.
roll luck for your traversal back up to the top. All right. Seems like you guys get pretty lucky with there's a couple of people who look a bit sideways at you as you sort of row by, but no one seems to stop and question you.
As we're going by, I explain exactly what I'm doing to him. Well, to Ross. Ross, this man is part of a cult, and I've already tried investigating the cult by infiltration, and that yielded no results. So now, I'm resorting to therapy.
Must we really do this?
Uh, until we figure out exactly what this cult is and if it poses it, and what they want, and if they pose a threat, yes. And then I tell a story about it, about a seemingly benign religious movement that ended up wiping out an entire city that I once had to deal with.
I see. Well, you know, would I know the hours of the museum? Is it closed by now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, man.
I'll take you to the museum first thing in the morning, and I will pay for everything myself.
That's alright. You know, I think I hear some spirits upstairs, and Roth will just rush upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
My character is lawful good, guys.
Of course, of course. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna take him down into the basement
Okay.
and get him and put him into this unused bedroom right here,
All right.
and just try to do my best to shift it into a position that's comfortable but also not a threat to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You'll tie him to a chair for interrogation purposes. You got that?
Yes. Is he still asleep?
Yes.
Very good. I just
Yeah.
while
Well,
I wait for
seems-
him to
Yeah, you go.
wake up, I start playing the loot Roth gave me.
All right. Eventually, probably. It seems the sedative did quite a number on him as he wakes up about 3 hours or 3 hours into the night. Just,
Ah, you're finally awake. Still a bit tongue-tied, are you? Hmm. Must must have used too much sedative on you. Give it a minute, and it will wear off. Of course. If you'll wait here a moment, I'll get you some tea. I go make tea.
Mm-hmm. As you eventually come back down, he's just like, you bastard.
So, you want to tell me about the thing you're keeping lulled with the music?
He sort of groggily looks at you. It tries to spit at you, but he just sort of dribbles down his chin.
I take a cloth I take a cloth from nearby and just dab his face clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I understand the tritones have been causing quite a lot of trouble for the city.
He just shakes his head no.
So, what is the purpose of the tritones?
Yeah, sort of looks over at you. Ooh, music. We make better music.
To what end?
The beauty of life.
Yes. Well, when we were first met, you mentioned something needing to be lulled back to sleep.
Guardian.
Guardian.
Of the
What is...
instrument.
But this happen to look like a wood elemental.
Takes many forms. You say wood, some say other.
And what happens if the music goes silent?
Anger. People
Anger.
hurt.
So you would say the Tritones are doing a service to the town.
He doesn't seem to know how to answer.
So, why is it that the members of the Tritones wear broken musical instruments as clothing?
Nothing. Looks good.
So, do you intentionally break the instruments to make clothing, or is it instruments that have already broken through other means?
Use this instrument. Not needed anymore.
I'll take that as meaning broken. Very good, very good. So, do you know the history of the Tritones?
We used to work with Oakmont as their musician.
And when did the Tritones' purpose switch from that to keeping the Guardian lulled?
The first flood. Many people were abandoned.
Could you describe this event a little more thoroughly?
Difficult. Don't remember. Woke up and everything flooded, destroyed much.
Very good, very good. I offer him the tea. I take a sip of the tea first to show him it's not poisoned.
Are his arms untied?
His left arm is untied.
He takes the tea and he attempts to throw it at you, but it fails completely.
I figured as much. So how do the Tritones get more members?
We don't.
I know that some members of the Tritones have left and began committing crimes.
Not us. They're not Tritones no more.
Interesting, interesting. So, do you have any favorite composers?
Three-Fourths was good. Not anymore, though.
Very good. Do the Tritones ever compose their own music?
Haven't had time. Before we're not Tritones, we would, but not anymore. Too busy.
I take it that the symphony must go on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
There is time when we can rest.
Very good, very good. instruments wear down over time with use. What do you do when an instrument breaks? A good instrument, I should.
We go find more in the depth.
Yeah, in the underground storage facility that you have at your symphony.
Indeed. When guardians sleep, it's easy.
Can the guardian wake up while the music is playing?
If someone bumbles around, I suppose.
Very good, very good. I can't say I can think of any more information I need to get out of you. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to take you back to your symphony.
I will let them know of your fate. Be warned, do not come to us again.
I slip him another sedative.
He tries to stop you with his free arm, but it's kind of tough when you just come from the other side and knock him out.
All right, I'm just gonna take him back to the symphony.
All right.
And I'm also gonna write instructions for him on how to recover from the sedatives. What he can't do and what would be dangerous for him to do.
All right. Roth, while all this is going down, are you working on anything?
Roth will just start getting work on the commission.
Getting some rough sketches down.
Yeah.
All right. I'd say after he's returned to the Symphony Hall, you guys get your long rest for the day.
Good.
All right. Oh, a new day rises. What would you like to do?
First thing I'm gonna do is go to Roth and give him all the notes I got from the interrogation last night. As well as explaining that I brought the man back to the symphony unharmed and did not rob him or anything.
But you don't think that was a little extreme?
No.
I see.
And extreme would have been keeping him here for several days while I slowly torture him for any bit of information that might be useful.
I'll make sure to remember your definitions for next time.
Very good, very good. Definitely need to investigate this guardian entity, which I think I've actually encountered before.
Oh.
Yes, Mark and I first tried to investigate the Tritones a couple of nights ago to see what their deal was, mostly. They were just as friendly as they were tonight, and seemed very unwilling to share in their secrets, so we snuck in and looked around their stuff. And Mark grabbed some kind of magic flute, which summoned what I'm guessing is the Guardian. It took the form of it was a wood elemental. And I had to set a large number of instruments on fire to distract it, so we could get away. I don't think we were able to hurt it.
Yep.
So, how did your painting go last night?
It was fine.
May I see your progress?
Sure. And he'll just show. He's started so far.
What's it look
Excellent.
like?
Probably started with maybe the background, so there's some colors about and some vague sketches about places, but it's mostly just the background stuff. So some of the trees, because he wants to leave some open detail for when he eventually sees what it actually looks like.
It looks nice. Alright,
Thank you.
for your success with this gallery.
I do too.
Well, if it right. I'm gonna roll insight. I'm gonna roll investigation on the painting.
Yep. Anything specific you're looking for?
Nope, my character is just paranoid.
Gotcha. Alright. It is a interesting painting.
Alright. Well, let's go to the police station and see if we got those permits.
Oh, did they say they contact us?
Ah, right. Well, let's go check our mailbox then.
Going out front. It seems that most of these houses have mail slots, sort of next to your front door, where mail is just sort of slipped in, but it's out of reach from passers-by.
All right.
Seems like there's no mail for you right now.
All right then. Well, what other leads do we have? Oh, I haven't actually been to the burger house yet. The red killer dude's house. Red letter killers.
Oh, we haven't really went either. He's extremely paranoid, so we thought it might be best to leave him alone.
Oh. Good thing I have no such weaknesses.
Roth, where were you wanting to head?
I'm just gonna head to the museum.
All right.
Okay. Do we even know where the original red letter killer lives?
You have no clue where the red letter killer lives.
I mean
victim.
the first guy, not the current guy.
Well, there's only one person who survived, but you're not sure where this house is.
All right, I'll go to the victim house. That I'm just gonna say I got the information from Roth and Mark at some point.
Okay, that was Mr. Thongboon Kurd, and who died there. All right. So Roth is going to the Oakmont Museum, which you got the location of from the first newspaper, and John's heading to the Red Letter Victim House. Let's follow Ross for a bit.
Okay, yeah, I hogged that time a little bit too much. I'm sorry.
That's alright.
It's fine.
Alrighty. Okay. So, you approach and find that the museum is pretty nicely decorated as you approach. Let's see here. I'll use this as the backdrop because I don't have the museum ready or image yet. Alright.
No problem.
Yeah. Alright, so you approach and the Oakmont Museum is fairly ornate on the outside. Somewhat small, but the front entrance is nice. You head on in and find that it's fairly similar in construction to the Oakmont University. At least it seems to have had the same architect, at least, in the way it was designed. What would you like to do?
I guess I'm just more looking to see if I could find any more history of Oakmont.
Mm-hmm. So, upon taking a look around, you find sort of this front little ticket area. Uh, the lady sort of uninterested and looks up to you. Oh, must not have expected a visitor. She looks a bit surprised. Welcome to the Oakmont Museum. Admission is free today, thanks to the generosity of Throgmorton family. Would you like any information?
Yes, I'm actually one of the people here from the housing program. So I'm new to new to the island, and I don't know much about it.
I see. Well, you're welcome to start your tour here. As she motions to the sort of open doorway a few steps to the right of the ticket booth. Let's see. If you follow the red carpet, it should bring you through the history of our island, starting from far back as when Blackwoods first arrived, and you'll get to learn all about our history.
Great. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, on walking through the doorway, it's sort of a darker hallway before it leads out into a more open uh, sort of room with little cases and plaques around the room. As you get close to one of the plaques, you hear sort of voice come out from it, describing what's inside the case. As the voice, it seems to be sort of like tour guide recorded voices with magic themes. But this, it starts speaking. This was a recreation of the ship used by the first Blackwoods to arrive at our island more than 300 years ago. And within the case, you can see a much older looking ship. It doesn't have a single sort of porthole on it, and looks fairly similar to, or well, not fairly similar, but definitely looks like an old ship. All right, where would you like to go in this room? There's many different cases.
Yeah, Roth pretty much just wants the full experience because from his own experience, it's usually to understand the island, but he probably wants to know how it started and everything that happened before he got on it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, going around the room to all the different plaques, you seem to notice a flow to it, and you're able to get a better storyteller experience. All right. 300 years ago, the Blackwoods arrived. During that time, this island was uninhabited by man nor beast, save for the fish in the water. Blackwood, being experienced fishermen, built a small settlement on the southern side of the island. This settlement would soon be known as Oakmont. And it sort of gives a small little diorama of how small the city was back then. As their exploits grew and they created a new design of ship to handle the dense waters around the island, the city grew more and more. Through research and a bit of luck, they were able to create glass from the sand on the northern side of the island, giving way to our lovely windows and homes. The Blackwoods have been on this island the longest, and they have made it their mission to care for its people. In times of famine, they have always provided. Not a soul was left hungry on these islands under their watchful vigilance. And it then goes on to tell of their 100 years before the carpenters arrive, and it sort of leads you again down one of these dark hallways, sort of moving you into the next section, which is the carpenter section. So, following the same sort of path you went through before, the carpenters arrived 200 years ago. It was a time of great discontent as the Blackwoods had grown very used to running the island their own way, and, well, the carpenters brought new ideas and new construction methods. The carpenters took it upon themselves to build new homes of greater size and quality. Unfortunately, it was also during this time that Oakmont suffered from the Great Cataclysm, burning down nearly 99% of the city. All that was left was the current standing mansion of the Blackwood family. Though tribulations were tough, the carpenters resolved themselves to build our city anew into what you see today, for the most part, as it sort of gives a diorama of the overall structure of the city. It seems that through those 100 years, the carpenters basically built just about everything in the city, from houses to the many buildings. Though it does state that the carpenters would learn, the Blackwoods would learn from the carpenters and build their own buildings. The Blackwoods took these construction methods and built wonderful places such as the Oakmont Hospital, the Oakmont Police Station, and the Oakmont City Hall. All right. As it guides you into the next part of the museum, it was then that 100 years ago, the Throgmortons arrived on the island. They brought with them many exciting discoveries. The Throgmortons themselves, archaeologists by trade, brought many fascinating ideas to the island, seeking to investigate a bit more of its pre-settlement history. The Throgmortons brought many new refined areas, such as the Oakmont University, seeking to educate the many people of the island. Though some of the Throgmortons did begin the Blue Sea Church, which can be found in just north of Salvation Harbor in the Shells. Let's see here. They also brought culture, such as music and theater, uh, building both the Symphony Hall as well as the Oakmont Theater, as well as the Oakmont Library, seeking to enrich the people of Oakmont. Mm-hmm. That's the general history of the island. Oh, I missed one thing with the carpenters. They also brought commerce, trading with the outside world and bringing in new items to the island to be traded and bought and sold. As you basically come out the end of this tour, you are back in the central room facing the person at the ticket booth. And it seems that there are some additional sort of exhibits on the second floor above you.
Excuse me, Miss Ticket Taker.
Yeah?
What is on the second floor?
Well, those are some of the Throgmorton discoveries. On the west wing, it should be the caverns below, but the east wing was reserved for their newest discovery, which currently has been delayed indefinitely.
Was it because of what happened to Michael Throckmorton? I read it on the newspaper. Quite horrible.
Yes, I believe that is the reason.
All right, I guess I'll take a look on the second floor then,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't mind me.
Oh, go right ahead, of course. All right. So as you make your way into the sort of east side, I assume, right? You're going to the east side, not the west side that's
Yeah.
off limits.
Yes, the east side.
All right. You mean the west side?
Yeah, the one that's not off limits.
Yeah, yeah. So you go on to the west side, and it seems that this exhibit is detailing some very extensive caverns beneath the island. Going into it, you start walking around again, and discovered by the carpenters more than 200 years ago, or sorry, uh, around 200 years ago, uh, these immense caverns beneath the city lie many different treasures. Though it was through the Throgmorton's efforts that uh, these caverns were brought to the public eye. Deep in these caverns that stretch all throughout the island like a network lie simple treasures. And you can see sort of these small crystals behind the cases. These crystals found within the cavern have magical properties. One of the most extensive is used to make very powerful healing potions, though that is, we are told that is not their only use, though uh, the Throgmortons and Carpenters have agreed to keep those ideas to themselves for the betterment of our city's economy. Many years ago, the Throgmortons began a mining operation deep in the northern side of the island. However, this has been since shut down around 10 years ago. And you can go around and see sort of artifacts of what they used to mine with and how they would ship the crystals around the island, and quite a detailed map or some of the first maps of these tunnels beneath the island. You can see that little scribbled notes on some of the papers seem to indicate these tunnels go hundreds of feet down.
Roth will just think of the one tale he read from the library. Perhaps there's more credence to that than I thought.
All right.
But I will say, with Roth is going around, he'll just look around and just take note about what kind of security they have here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, taking a look around, there's at least some magic in here, as the voices seem to have been recorded magically in some way, but I mean, nothing to your common eye sees anything you should be worried about.
Roth will think about it and then just, maybe something for later. As if there's nothing more for him to see that can't be accessed legally, he will be leaving.
All right.
Okay, I gotta leave actually.
All right. This is an okay place to leave it for today.
Okay. Next time on Oakmont War Crimes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh,
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I probably didn't have to do all that. I just wanted to kind of show off what kind of characters Roth and Mark agreed to live with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
All right, later.
good night.
Tune in.